This is an example of a battle conducted with the Eldritch 2nd Edition rules. Katrina is a mage traveling for adventure with her friend Pelnor, following a group of thieves who stole their horses from town. First, we need an ability check. Pelnor is a full-fledged NPC of the Adept character class, meaning a character very knowledgeable about some specific area of expertise. In this case, the GM decided he was a master of animal training, especially war horses, and also a decent scout. Pelnor thinks they're on the right track for what they're seeking, which is a band of thieves they are tracking beyond the river's bridge. To track the thieves, he rolled his competence and expertise together. Rolling a 4, the GM decided it was an easy task and rolled a d4. He had lowered it because of Pelnor's character concept, but Pelnor was a bit too much on track because he had assumed the thieves got more of a head start than they actually had. Katrina is a mage more familiar with battle situations just from her past experience. Nonetheless, the thieves knew they were coming, and so the GM determines a surprise roll is needed, which is a roll of competence and perception versus the thieves who use their own initiative on their simplified battle stats. The thieves had hoped to lure them into a trap by stealing their horses. It worked. The GM rolls for the thieves' leader, representing those two, plus the 3 goblin henchmen, although one runs away immediately. For the enemies, the GM only needs to roll their basic agility stats, and in this case treats them as a group together, rolling only a 4. Katrina manages to roll a 4 as well, and the heroes win ties, so the ambush fails, and the thieves realize they've been spotted. This game does not require miniatures, though there are simple rules for tactical movement when necessary, as with this demo. In the first round, nobody has a prowess rank above D6, so those with the D6 rank move first. The goblins also have a D6 rank in their agility. However, the heroic action order kicks in at that point, meaning the heroes still act first on that same battle phase. Katrina summons the power of her fire goddess, rolling competence and expertise plus her spellcraft focus, instantly frying one of the goblins who falls to the ground a black husk. Pelnor, that coward, runs away immediately. Our hero has only 6 active defense points left now. As you can see in the Eldritch RPG, the attack and damage rolls are combined into a single roll. The potential harm absorbed by the defender's active defense or passive defense, also called hit points. Then one of the goblins rolls a 1d6 to determine his potential harm, rolling a 2, and the second one rolls and delivers 4 threat points toward Katrina, who deflects the first attack with her mace, reducing her active defense to 4. And then she sidesteps the second attacker's strike as well, but is reduced to 0 active defense. Now she feels very fatigued and a little panicked. If she were able to disengage from combat, say with the help of a friend who wasn't so cowardly, she could revitalize some of those active defense points, but that's not possible for her at this point. At least not without risking turning her back. Everyone has taken their turn, so now we go into round 2. Katrina, quite angry with Pelnor, casts a spell to blind him as he runs. She's a little vindictive, rolling her competence plus expertise in spellcraft against the challenge die of d4 for that spell. Her roll of 7 beats even the possibility of it being overcome by his saving throw. Players can roll both the challenge die and the ability test simultaneously if they wish when casting a spell. In any event, the spell defeats Pelnor's senses with the affliction, and he falls to the ground, stunned and blind. The thief leader laughs, thinking the battle is won, and swings at the mage with 9 threat points delivered. Katrina has only 8 points of passive defense left, but gets lucky. Or more to the point, the player spends all of her spirit points for the day. Spirit points are the same value as 1 basic competence die. In her case, it's 6 points that she burns up, though she still has 3 threat points to contend with. She is wearing leather armor, fortunately, which allows her an immediate 1d6 roll for damage reduction. She rolls a 4, and so the rest of the attack is thus soaked up by her armor. The other thief withdraws from close combat, fishing for something in his belt pouch, as the remaining goblin attacks yet again. That goblin, angry that his best friend now looks like a fried potato, stabs at her, delivering 5 threat points. She's unable to parry or dodge now, since she hasn't a moment to recover. but she gets to roll her armor since active defense was automatically bypassed. She rolls a miserable result of 1. The damage reduction for armor is always rolled randomly, the die rank depending on the type of armor worn. So, the goblin delivered 5 threat points, and her passive defense drops from an 8 to a 3. She staggers, bleeding, and screams. Her luck seems to have run out, figuratively, literally. Is this the end? We'll see in round 3. Luckily, Katrina is the hero of this. Being an elementalist gives her plenty of tricks up her sleeve, as the thieves discover now as she summons the wind. The spell was against a challenge of D10, so she rolls her competence and expertise, and is successful with her ability test. This allows her to perform a gliding flight at the speed of the caster's ability branch, in miles per hour, which in her case is 15 miles per hour. Her opponents are mystified as she glides up over the trees and out of sight, escaping to battle yet another day. Pelennor gets back up and starts to run again, but the thug who had reached into his pouch produces a small glowing rock and, holding it aloft, speaks a word of power, and Pelennor freezes like a statue, falling once again to the ground. Poor Pelennor. He's not going to make a very gracious prisoner.